We're not set up.
So?
Hello and welcome to the most boring thing you'll ever watch in your life. Can you fix those?
Yes, I can. Hey guys, what's up? Hey Mary. We are recording a podcast right now.
We're recording our, like we did last week,
Yeah.
or whatever, for episode 11.
For episode 11, so you guys are literally going to catch the podcast first.
Well,
So,
sort of. Because it's not, the actual episode isn't in it.
that's right.
They're catching our commentary on episode
Catching our
11.
commentary. So, this is boring, but it's not for entertainment. It's just, if you guys want to hang out, then awesome.
Check.
If you do have questions before we start rolling, then ask them and we
Check,
will answer
check.
them.
What am I in? Check. Oh, that's why. Hello and welcome to the Anatomy of Marriage podcast. Check, check. Check your levels.
Check, check. Hello, 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 and welcome. Hey, I'm going to try this thing because we're going to start doing this as well. So, you guys know the feature. It's the little two smiley faces down at the bottom of your screen if you're on Instagram. You can
it's gonna drive
request
me
to
crazy.
be in the live feed right now. So, let's see. And if you guys are brave enough and you want to jump on, we will literally, it's like doing an Instagram, except for on it.
It's not. We're not
it's
going
like
to do
doing-
that.
I'm just going to do it really quickly. I'm going to check it out. And then
You
so
just
I'm
wanna
going to answer a
test it?
question, see who you are, see your face, and then we'll hang up and go back to the live. So somebody request to join the Instagram live right now. That'd be awesome. We're testing this out so we can...
Just stand. This
beta.
is driving me crazy. I hate this setup the most.
And don't worry, you're not going to be on the podcast.
Oh.
You'll be on Instagram live, though. So somebody, if you're on Instagram live watching, request to be in this feed right now. I'll accept it. Ask a question or just say, hey, and then I'll hang up. I want to see how it goes. So somebody do that right now, please, and I will accept. Superman, Coach Superman, go for it, buddy.
This is the most irritating thing I can imagine.
To who?
Me.
Why?
There's like 90% of us are not even in the screen. It looks so awful.
Okay,
Ugh.
let's fix it then.
I don't want to fix it. I want to record.
Okay, hold on.
There he goes. There we go.
All right, so we're trying this out.
All right, we're going to see how this works. We don't need
Ebony.
to talk into our microphone.
Are you there?
This is waiting,
Waiting, so now you have to accept it.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
And then we'll see. It does take a little minute for stuff to catch up. Again, this is the beta, so be patient, my dear love.
Wait, what do I do again? We're trying to get people to, but it's waiting on something. So wait, might have to wait.
So somebody just requested, I accepted the request, and then you have to go back and accept the request.
And it's like a little button at the very bottom of your screen. It looks like two smiley faces, like little clear ones. So I don't know, maybe it's not working. We're talking about.
All right, Ebony, it's not working. I'm going to cancel that and maybe try again, okay?
Oh wait,
Oh. Go live with, okay, let's see. I'll choose Mary.
did that work?
I think add. Waiting
It
for
was
Mary.
doing the same thing again.
No, she has to accept.
Yeah.
Okay, Mary, go ahead and accept. What's up, Kaylin? What's up,
I think
Sammy?
this is giving us. These are giving us
You think
feedback.
so? Oh, there you go.
Hi!
Hi.
Your face.
This is so crazy.
It
That
works.
was so funny. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
This
gosh.
is cool.
So,
wow.
Yeah, so you are the very first person that we've ever done this with. Again, this is just a beta, so if you do have a question, I want to honor it and answer it because we said we would.
I don't have a question, but
You just wanted to say what's up, all right.
I
yeah, I just
love
wanted
it.
to say hi.
It's
All
been
right.
so long since we've seen you. Like a year.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it was the first. When did we see them last? The first con.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
And that
right.
was the last time we saw you.
That's
And don't
right.
you have two kids now?
Yeah, two boys.
Awesome.
Crazy.
Well,
I know. Time goes so
I
That
fast.
is
know.
so cool. Well, thank
Well,
you for
it's super
testing
good.
this out for us. That was really
No
awesome.
problem.
Yeah, thank you so much. You were literally the first one, and this is something that I want to do on the regular to interact with folks.
Yeah, to answer
And get more
questions.
questions
live.
going. So, thanks for being brave.
awesome.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you. Okay, now
All
we
right.
got to figure out.
So we're gonna hang up. So thank you very much.
Okay.
And we'll
We'll
see
see
you
what
on the live.
happens.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Huh. That worked like a
worked.
charm.
Awesome. That's so cool. What is that
Hold
button?
on, somebody else was on. What's up? His and
what
her money.
That?
How you doing? I'm not sure what it is.
We're gonna push a button.
Okay. How are y'all staying sane?
Why did it do it like that?
Who says we're sane? No,
I know, right?
So, okay, you guys, this is not our normal thing. We're just doing a podcast. We're recording a podcast, not on live,
11.
but you guys are just you're in on making the sausage. I hate that saying because it's like sausage, it's like wieners and stuff. I don't like it.
Oh my gosh, what is wrong with you?
Okay, so come in and out if you want. We're chilling here.
I'm gonna turn this light off.
Let's see who else has to join. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. So okay, I know how this works then. That's so good. Okay, cool.
Cool. We just went on a run and now I'm cold, so that's why I'm dressed like a crazy. Okay.
So do we have our notes?
Yeah.
So you guys, we're not going. Once we start recording, we're not going to answer questions because
we'll take stops and we can. Let's see. And again, this is for episode 11, so those are my notes. So I don't know.
Jeez.
I'm thorough.
Right.
Is there? I don't know where your notes are though. We're sharing it.
They're right here.
That's awesome. Oh, that's a lot of notes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go. Let's test our levels again. Check. I feel like I'm a tiny bit. We're good.
Okay.
Ready?
Check. Hello.
Remember your...
At our lowest point? No, hide the guns.
Hide the guns.
Okay.
It's a somber episode, so you can't blast in with, and we're back!
Oh, right, yeah.
At the end.
Pretty powerful.
And remember...
Call to action is...
GetFaithful.com?
GetFaithful.com, audibletrial.com, and...
Get the workbook?
You'll say, yeah, the workbook would be good.
Okay. We'll see if we can do this.
All right. Ready?
Here we go. Hello and welcome to the Anatomy of Marriage podcast. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
What's up, my friends? My name is Seth Studley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and thank you for joining us for episode 11 of season 1 called Hide the Guns.
This is a pretty intense episode. It's about our domestic violence situation, which was an atypical domestic violence situation. Mm-hmm. This episode does not have graphic things in it at all.
Right.
It has stories that are hard to listen to, but nothing really, really terrible or graphic. But we think it's really important to cover this stuff, and a lot of marriage resources don't. So we wanted to be kind of out there in the forefront saying, hey, y'all, this actually happens. It happened to us. It's nothing to be so ashamed about that you get hurt or whatever, and you'll understand what that means as you listen to the episode. But we're just going to dive into this episode, and we hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Catch you in a minute.
Enjoy.
Bye. Awkward pause.
Awkward pause.
This is where it's edited out.
Okay. You want to...
Okay. And we're back. What did you think of that?
That's such a crazy episode for me, I think, because again, the people we interviewed are people we know. Right. We changed their names to respect their stories. And then it's our own story, which is just crazy. Like, we even say with Matt, it's like crazy that we went through that. And hard to believe that, 11 years ago, we were treating each other that way. That, like, I was so terrible and you were so afraid. And just we were both so dumb and volatilely dumb.
Right.
If that makes sense.
And I think that there's a bunch of worst things in the whole story, but one of the worst things was the level of not really being I think for you there was no humility almost, because this sounds weird, I'm a humble guy. I'm not saying that, but when I am wrong, I do admit when I'm wrong and like, yeah, sorry, I know that I really messed up. But the assumptions on my part, and I talk about that in the podcast, like I was just assuming everything, you'd be okay with this, I'm not that kind of guy, get over it. I was very dismissive and assuming, and you were very not apologetic and very not humble.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I go back to, like, I have never seen that modeled in my home. And I always have to say this, I adore my parents. I see them all the time. We live 4 minutes away from them, or 8, I guess. But I never saw it modeled in my home where someone does something that hurts the other one, and then they go, oh, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Or you're right, I shouldn't have said that. But what I did see was, like, a lot of, well, yeah, of course I'm mad because blah, 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 know. And never, I don't even know, because I'm so used to it. I'm so habituated to what my family of origin does that in my brain I'm like, no, you don't say you're sorry. You fight and fight and fight, and then eventually someone gives up, and then you both win. Like I literally,
you
that's
don't
what
both win.
No, I
That's
know
for sure.
that you don't actually both win, but in my brain, man, I thought that's what happened, and I didn't know how. And I know we've done whole episodes about this. I didn't know how to apologize. I literally didn't know how to say the words. I am sorry. What I did wasn't acceptable. I'd be like, nope, your fault. You did it. It's you. I'm not to blame. I'm a victim. And so, it is really crazy though, because it was like I wasn't even in the planet, the universe, the scope of being able to understand I was to blame for things that I contributed with my own behavior. And it's crazy to listen back.
It was not only crazy to listen back of hearing our friends' stories, and I'm not even talking about it was crazy what we went through. Like, another craziness factor was that we're talking about it now, you know. And I think in the last episode, there was I was just like real time cringy almost, like, and this was just last week, like re-listening to the episode and like hearing us argue.
Oh yeah,
it's like, it's
disgusting.
It's like embarrassing. I'm not ashamed of it, and I'm not ashamed of anything we have ever put out, because you're getting real stuff. But more of, oh my goodness, I was like that. You know, it's like if you look back at your high school pictures, if you've been out of high school for longer than a minute, and you look back at like your prom pictures, you're like, that was the style. You got to be kidding. Look at my hair, you know, whatever. And you just see that, it's like, oh man, I was that way, kind of thing. So on top of the craziness, it was re-listening to this episode 11 again, and just understanding, oh my goodness, we went through that and we talked about it too. And like you said at the top of this podcast, a lot of marriage podcasts, they definitely don't talk about domestic violence, and they definitely don't talk about their own experience if they have experienced that, or their own experience with other things that are just either taboo, or that you're not saving face when you're talking about that stuff. But I found that, like, I'm not going to say like ever again. I have found that sharing this stuff has been the most impactful thing we could ever do.
Yeah, and one of the evidences
for us, the most impactful thing for us in our marriage that we could ever do.
Yeah. And what I was going to say is something that I think is evidence that this is impacting people, is that we have people coming up to us and saying, we went through that same thing, I haven't told anybody, right? Or I thought I was the only one who did X, Y, and Z. And it's shocking to me how often we hear that, especially when we speak at events. People just kind of air their dirty laundry with us because we do that with them. And it's on purpose, not to be weird, not to be crazy, not to be like, woo, look at us, we're so whatever. This is literally to help. That's the whole purpose, is to help. And so I think that it's awesome we're talking about it. Yes, it was so cringy. We were terrible. I was terrible. I mean, I think you were probably close to normal, and I was terrible.
Yeah, I am not going to disagree.
No, I mean, it basically is that. Especially the more I listen to it, I think, oh gosh, I'm terrible. Some of the notes that I took were in something that stood out to me was I wrote, our unhealed wounds become our future weapons. So like our past wounds that we don't heal, or for me anyway, became like a weapon that I used against you in the future, or that made me feel really weird when I said in the future. As if it hasn't happened already.
Well, hurt people.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to like kind of side...
Surprise!
I know, right? But you said that your past hurts, what did you say?
Become future weapons.
Right. So what were your past hurts growing up that manifested themselves in real time with, I'll never say I'm sorry, I blame everybody for everything, and I don't take responsibility.
Yeah, sorry.
Like, what hurt?
I actually remember in the store, I was trying to write it, because I was in Fred Meyer, texting into my phone, but it was also our past hurts and the things we didn't learn. So, you can look at it in a way of, if I didn't learn to apologize, that is like, it's not a hurt, but it is a deficit. So that deficit became, for a portion of our marriage, like a weapon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the deficit of not knowing, the lack of knowledge on my part, became I weaponized it.
Yeah,
in our marriage.
because saying you're sorry and taking a fair amount of responsibility is a fairly normal thing within culture.
Yes,
right?
so I had an
so
unhealthy...
if you didn't learn that, and I was pointing these things out to you,
Yes.
it's not you're using it as a weapon. You think it as a criticism. Oh, this is deep, because you always thought that like you're just criticizing me, and you think I never do right, and like you're never happy. I can't. All this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it manifested itself in your brain. You thought that I was just attacking you.
Yeah.
But I was, which obviously I could have been quite more nice and loving and articulate in my way of saying that, but that would come from my family of origin. So what was that?
It was the
Oh,
dog. I think
my
that
goofy
scared me.
my goofy stuff compounded your goofy stuff.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I see that's what I was trying to get at with the like unhealed hurts become weapons, and I don't know how to language that. I can come up with something much better if I thought about it longer, but that stood out to me. Like it was something that was like a maladaptive thing that I absorbed from my family of origin. Then I put it into our marriage, but I weaponized it, and I had no idea, and I thought I was so right.
Yeah.
And it was very, very wrong and very, very hurtful.
It's kind of like if you were a kid growing up that didn't have much, and then you had a best friend who came into some money or started getting stuff, you would be upset at them and not want them to be happy. So you would weaponize something that you didn't get and wouldn't want anybody else to get it. And you would somehow subconsciously, some people, sabotage other people's success. But in the end, you're actually sabotaging your own success.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was doing. I think that's a great way to put it. One thing I thought too, let's see. We talked about that. I liked when you said stress plus opportunity equals crisis. You said that in this episode.
I didn't coin that. That's something we learned in grad school in crisis management and intervention stuff. Okay, tell me what you thought about it.
I just thought
that is profound.
I think for me, it's almost one of those things that like, if you can remember that statement, if you can, I honestly just said it and I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
Stress plus opportunity equals crisis.
Yes.
If you can have that in your mind, at the moment you feel your blood boiling and you're about to do something, right? That is to me, it's like a little tiny blip that can run across your brain and calm you down. To me, anyway. And it's sort of like a Joyce Meyer thing where she talks about, I think I mentioned it in the last week's episode, where it's like you can lead the ship, but you can lead it in the wrong way. You know, and it's that kind of thing that flashes into your head when you're about to like tear somebody a new one.
So that is a very croc brain response, right?
Croc brain?
Croc brain, lizard brain.
Croc brain? Who says that?
I've heard that a million times.
From who?
From PhD professor teachers and stuff.
I've never heard that.
Croc brain, lizard brain, your
so
amygdala, your brainstem, right? And it makes me think of the most hilarious thing that's probably ever happened. So your nephew, when he was about, I don't know, maybe 11, do you remember this? And maybe I'm getting it completely wrong, but I think that we were all standing out somewhere and there was a thunderstorm.
Oh.
And like
it was his birthday.
Yeah, and the thunder just cracked so loud, like the lightning hit super, super close. And who did he hit?
You.
Me.
He turned around and he punched you in the stomach.
That's right.
He was so afraid. He was like, I think he's probably about 9.
Right.
And literally lightning struck like right across the street, and it was so loud. And he just turned and went, right in your gut, and we all just went, what happened?
So let's break that down. So stress plus opportunity equals a thing, right? And I'm using him as an illustration of like you are just in your croc brain, you're in total flight, right? So the lightning, that was stress. I was close to him. There was an opportunity. Boom. He acted, right? And that is no different than what we talked about on the episode. If someone is tripping out, just completely tripping out, and there's an opportunity, there's a knife, there's something there that they can use to hurt themselves with, the likelihood of them doing that is higher, right?
Yeah, and I think that applies obviously to anything. If you're if there's stress and opportunity and chocolate cake and you're trying to lose weight, guess what's going to be eaten?
Right,
you know, like there's And I think it's a thing where we have to be able to kind of overrule and override our lizard brain in those instances, which is hard, and you have to train yourself to do that.
Well, you really have to train that, because that's an evolutionary thing that's why we're here, basically, because we run from whatever. However, in the times of non-stress, you have to be smart enough and have enough foresight to remove the opportunity, right? If I am saying, okay, I want to eat clean and healthy, and I have chocolate cake all over the place, that's the opportunity. Stress is going to be there, right? Work stress, kids, whatever. Stress is a constant. There's good stress and bad stress. However, stress is there. If I, with enough foresight and a calm mind, thinking in my frontal lobe, remove all the opportunity. Remember that thing, a forced function, right? I remove the opportunity when I put my alarm clock way over here. I remove the opportunity to hit snooze and still remain in bed. I have to get up and do it.
Yeah.
So think about that in your marriage, in all your stuff.
Yeah, do those things when you're healthy. Do not do them when you are unhealthy, right?
Right.
So one of the things that stood out to me too is that there was a section where Susie was saying she was crying and saying, if I talked about it, people said to forgive my husband. If I said it louder, they got upset at me. And I thought that was so really, really powerful, because in this whole episode, one of the things that we keep going back to is that fear and discomfort and uneasiness, like, they smother logic because we want to save face. We want to look like we're not falling apart. We don't want to air our dirty laundry. We don't want to say what is actually going on, but at the cost of so much, at the cost of our children, our own health, our own safety, right? And so I think that
there's a lot sacrificed on, this is a Cody Jefferson saying, there's a lot, well, similar to it, there's a lot sacrificed on the altar of saving face and putting out here to maintain that stuff. But in the end, it never works.
Yeah, and I like what Matt said. He's even like, I would rather be embarrassed twice a year if I called you and said, hey, this thing's happening, I think Bridget's going to hurt herself, I don't know what to do, and be wrong. I'd rather do that than be wrong than not do it and be right.
Exactly.
And I think that's so powerful. But one thing that came to my head is, like, if you felt like if you're going through something like that with domestic violence, or I need to talk to somebody, or something is going wrong and no one's listening to me, I almost wonder if there would be some way that you could write out specifics, like even in an email form, long format, like, I have been locked in a room before with, whatever that is, like literally details that aren't like pointing fingers saying my spouse is just a jerk, idiot, dumb, they don't know, because that's like throwing darts. But if you can bullet point in a non-emotional way, in like a logical, you know what I'm saying?
Have the victim of domestic violence or the victim of domestic abuse or of some sort write out all the instances,
like an inventory that makes it so it's not just like, I'm stressed out right now, I think everything's terrible. Because I think that's what people do. People go, oh, well, you're just upset right now, you'll be fine later.
Right.
And then they try
Which
to play,
in reality is, no,
yeah,
I'm upset right now because I got laid off 5 months ago and I haven't found a job, and my wife thinks I'm a loser because I can't have a job, but she's got her own issues, and now my kids are tripping.
I don't know where that story came. Like, that feels so unrelated, but I love
What are you talking about?
It just domestic violence is what I was talking
No. I'm now you threw me off track.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm getting at is, like, in Susie's case, all I'm doing is offering a thought, like an idea of, if this is happening to you, it might be helpful to write a really calm inventory, as hard as that's going to be, that you could share with trusted people, a therapist, a church counselor, and say, hey, this is what I am experiencing at home. This is what my children are witnessing. This is why I don't feel safe. Please read that email. Go ahead and get back to me. As opposed to, like, rushing in and, oh, I'm freaking out. And I'm not saying that Susie did that. I'm not trying to victim blame her at all. I am only saying, I wonder if that would get more attention and help. Right?
Yeah, but
that's all I'm saying.
But were you in a spot when we were going through all this stuff to create and list an inventory?
No, but I also had never heard someone say that. That's the only reason I'm saying it. And
That's
Matt even said, why didn't you get help? And you're like, well, I think I could be fine. So,
Well, it's my nature to do things on my own anyway. Okay, so here is a point that I wanted to talk about, because this episode is called At Our Lowest Point.
No, it's not. It's called Hide the Guns.
Hide the guns, then.
Say that again. Start the whole thing over so I don't have to edit it.
Well, no, then you'll have to edit this out. Anyway, these are notes from the new one, so from the episode 12, so sorry. Here, you can go back to your notes now.
Well, what was the point you wanted to say?
It is going to go in episode 12, not this one.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay. One of the things I also really thought was, actually, why don't you start this one as if it's your genuine idea so it doesn't sound like I'm always saying my ideas?
Prayer alarms?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just be like, they worked.
Okay. The one thing that I really liked is...
Did we talk about it in this episode?
I don't know. I can't remember if it was 11 or 12.
You can't listen to 2 episodes at once. That's what I figured
I
out.
get
Yes,
messed
last
up.
time. This is so
Okay.
Stoopsville.
Okay. So you're seeing the behind the scenes.
I know.
Yo, T, what's
we
up?
messed it up. Hey!
Good to see you. We're actually recording a podcast right now. We thought we'd do it live, and this will be edited out. So, word up. Good to see you.
That's like Word Girl. Word up! Word
Hey,
girl!
Tierney. We're doing this new thing that you may have not caught, but if you are on Instagram Live tomorrow, we're doing things where we invite watchers to split screen us, and then you'll go on the show. And so, can you think of a question that you have tomorrow, and then tune in tomorrow morning if you can catch us when you're not at work? That'd be cool, because I want to... 2 reasons. I think you're cool, and I like you, and you're my friend, and also I want to see how you're doing. So call in tomorrow.
Let's see.
Are we back to this real show yet, or what?
Yes. Okay. Again, I go back to, I think it's important to have new ideas to help people understand ways to get out of these situations if they're stuck in them.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I wrote in my notes was tell someone as soon as possible, your most trusted and level-headed friend, maybe your mom, maybe your cousin, a counselor, although they will have, if you're a, what are you? You have to tell the
Me?
police or something.
I am what they call a mandated reporter.
So understand that there are mandated reporters and therapists, licensed therapists are mandated reporters, correct?
Doctors, childcare workers, there's a lot of folks who work with people who, at least in the state of Washington and U.S.ly,
Say things normally. What are you saying?
and in the United States and other states, that they are mandated reporters, yes.
So that means what?
That means that if I hear of a case where a minor or someone is being abused, or physically, sexually, anything, or if someone is going to hurt themselves or hurt another person, or if I'm ordered by a judge in a court mandate to disclose protected health information, then I have to do that. So I'm ordered. It is my legal responsibility my legal duty to say, if I hear of somebody getting abused, I have to report that.
To who?
To either CPS or...
What is CPS? Child
Protective Services, or ADS, adult, or APS, Adult Protective Services, or I have to call the authorities, the police, next of kin, whoever, to keep everyone safe.
Okay.
That's all.
So I'm only letting you know that that's a thing in case you didn't know that that was the thing. That sometimes if you're speaking to someone like a therapist who is a mandated reporter, they have to report this to people.
Right.
Right? So not everyone is a mandated reporter. Your mom's not one, probably. Your cousin might not be one. A trusted friend might not be one. So just know that that's a thing, that there are mandated reporters. Because there was an issue in my childhood where I spoke to a counselor. I did not know what that meant, and they told someone something that I had said,
Really?
and it was a terrible experience. I
didn't
won't
know that.
share it. I won't share it on the show because it does not involve only me.
Right.
But it was really terrible because I went to a counselor and then received a phone call from a relative, and I was like, holy crap balls, this is the worst thing I can possibly think of.
Right.
Now they know what happened, and
Yeah.
this is not what I wanted.
That's ideally not the way to do it.
Not-
you
yeah.
want to tell the client that...
Well, they may have told me I was very young.
Okay.
So, I want you to know what mandated reporters are and why that's important. But I also want to say that a lot of times I think there's a whole safety thing. You talk about it. Like, you can't just leave a domestic violence situation. Sometimes that is when the worst thing happens.
Right. That's when the pursuer-distancer dynamic goes
berserk.
haywire and could get really violent and dangerous.
Yeah, but if you're not that far into a domestic violence situation and you feel like it's just kind of like you're feeling uneasy about something, you're like, wait, this doesn't feel right. Something feels off. I don't want to whatever. Like, one of the best things that you can do, and I think, what's her name says it, the author. Leslie Vernick says, sometimes the best thing you can do is contact someone to reach out to that person so that they know they are being watched, essentially. So basically that would be like, if you go to a counselor, you're not, like, that person's not going to be thrown in jail. That's not the point. The point is not to get them to be thrown in jail or to out them or to whatever, because you still love them, right? Most times people still love the person they're with. And this is not extreme cases. But I want you to think of it like you're giving that person an extra support. I know it doesn't feel like that. I know it doesn't sound like that.
It's a very tricky situation, and this podcast is no way count as therapy, or do not take this advice if you are unsure. Seek the help of a licensed professional, and this may not be or may be a good time for an ad spot. Go to gettherapy.com/anatomy of marriage. I know how it feels to be a counselor. Obviously, I've been one for 15 years, and I know how it feels to go to counseling too. And oftentimes, it is really, really helpful to go talk to someone who is not your family, who is not your friend, someone you don't know, and who is a trained professional that you can tell anything to, right? In a safe, kind, and caring environment with a professional. If I want to go to a dentist, I go to a licensed dentist, right? And I don't go to somebody or whatever, and I expect a certain level of care and professionalism by that dentist, right? And luckily for you, you can go to gettherapy.com.
No. You did not say it right.
Gettfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage to talk to a licensed counselor online anytime you want. Texting, email, calls, anytime you want. And if you need the help, if you are experiencing anything that we've talked about, or you're experiencing other things, COVID-19 is happening, super stressful times, all this stuff, you may have lost your job, go to gettfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage to hook up with a counselor. You don't have to drive, all you do is have a phone, and it's all HIPAA compliant. Your secrets are safe.
Real counselors,
real licensed counselors. So go there and check it out.
So that was a great plug, because I think that's one thing is people don't know where to go. They don't know who to reach out to. How do you make an appointment if you've got little kids? Like, it's just so complicated.
And you're under all this extra duress, stress, and
durian fruit.
No, not that. You sometimes aren't thinking clearly.
Definitely, probably aren't thinking clearly. So
right.
But that's one thing I really wanted to talk about, was the idea of, if you reach out, mandated reporters are a thing. If you reach out, it does not mean your spouse is going to go to jail unless they are doing something that is jailable. It doesn't mean you're going to go to jail. Like, there's all these things, these scary, weird, like, your lizard brain kicks in high gear and just draws you a picture of all the terrible things that will happen. And sometimes we need a hand to hold to say, not all of those terrible things will happen, and there are companies, organizations, whole societies of people who help domestic violence victims. That's their whole jam. So find those people. Do the work to help get yourself out of this and end the cycle of the violence, right?
Okay, how are we on time?
We need to wrap it up.
Okay. This episode was really powerful. I look back and think about that conversation that we had in the car and how rich and in-depth that conversation was. And it really makes me happy, honestly, because I look back at that time and think, wow, I was present, I was fully engaged in the conversation, and it was very cathartic and therapeutic for me. And it's a reminder to have more conversations like that with you in a real way, and to also set the stage so we can have those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because we were on our way to a show, even though we were late, it was just you and I. We didn't have anything else to do, so why not just connect in that way? So that was a good reminder of that, and also a good reminder that we went through some stuff, and we're on the other side way better for it. And I'm thinking of people who may have lost their jobs with the recent pandemic and all this stuff. Although you are in the middle of the storm, I say this thing, all right, it's not mine, but if you find yourself in hell, if you're going through a hell, keep going, right?
Yeah.
Keep going. Don't stay there. Don't give up. Of course, some marriages have to give up, and that's the choice. But if you are determined to stay and you're determined to work on yourself, you can get through it. And we did, and it's way better.
Yeah, it's shocking the way we've been transformed through this process. I was writing about it earlier that I never in a million years would have thought that I would be how I am and who I am right now. I would have never predicted.
As a woman or as a wife?
As a wife, a mom, a woman, just an individual, I would never have seen me essentially being so strong. I just was a victim in my mind.
Anthony O'Neill, I was listening to his broadcast of Hope today. Anthony O'Neill, he's a Ramsey personality. Actually, we're doing a live with him next week, so you guys
We had him on our show.
Yeah, we had him on our show too. He said, you can't, oh man, what was it? You can't be what you don't seek.
Is that it, or you don't?
Yeah, it's not. You can't be what you don't see. It's you can't be what you don't seek. So what kind of woman, person, mom, wife, worker do you want to be? You have to have that vision of it, because then it's like I can have the map, but if I have no idea, I can know I want to go to Paris, France, but if I have no idea where I am, it's going to be really hard to get to France.
Or where Paris is, yeah.
Right. So if you can't be, so what you're saying is you didn't know what you were seeking. You knew what you didn't want when you were in the middle of it, you know? And oftentimes you ask me, well, what color do you want the house to be? Or do you like this thing? And I don't think about those things. I literally don't know until I see it. And then I can say, well, I don't like that, or I do like it.
I will say that that's really inspiring, because the thing that I think through this whole journey is Joyce Meyer became who I'm seeking to become. Like, I followed that. Like, it was so inspirational to me of like, oh, no, wait. I do want to be strong. Oh, no, wait, I do have an opinion. Oh, no, wait, I don't like to do dishes. And she doesn't either. So this is what so I'm like, yeah, girl, you know, I didn't have that as growing up. I didn't have that particular role model. But that's what I'm hoping, that honestly, I hope you and I can become that for other people. That we can become those cheerleaders that are like, y'all, we get it. We have been there.
I am that stuff that like when I'm doing therapy for some people, I borderline on the coach cheerleader, and in my opinion, it is therapeutic, and I've even written about that. But it goes beyond therapy. It's like, come on, you got this, you can do this. Let's go. And sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's the idea. And that saying, you can't be what you don't seek. It's not like we're comparing ourselves, like, oh, look at that person, what they have, or what they've done, I'll never do that. And it's not, because if you get in the comparison trap, then that's just no good. But we have to have an idea of what kind of things we want in our life, what kind of job we want, spouse to be with, home, everything. We have to have a vision for that.
Yeah, it's like, this is the weirdest analogy, but I think it's appropriate. It's like not having a vision if you're making a clothing, like a fashion designer, and you just grab crap out of a bin and be like, I'll sew that on. That'll probably make a sleeve. I'm sure this will be fine.
Right.
And you literally never choose. You just go like this, and you reach back behind you, and you get a thing, and you sew it in.
You're reactive. It's like, well, the wind blew this piece of fabric this way. I'll sew it on.
Yeah, as opposed to saying, no, I do not want these pieces. I don't want that color in my life. I don't want this type of fabric. I only want, a kind home, a happy home. I don't want screaming at my kids.
It's like I'm envisioning walking down the windy streets of Chicago or something, and a bandana just flies on my face, and then I just like get it and sew it on.
And wear it, right? It's very simple. I don't know. It's a really interesting, weird analogy. But it's what I think. But last week, before we close, I do want to say this. I want to say, if you are in the situation that I found myself in, where you are harming or want to harm someone, if you are feeling like I want to kill myself, for the love of God, reach out to somebody. There is a whole...
It's 174, right? Or is it 7?
I don't know. You say it. Don't make me say it. I don't remember anything the right way.
Sorry.
Okay, I gotta edit that out now.
Sorry.
For the love of God, reach out to somebody and get help, because that is what I wish I would have done. And I did after, way too late. I should have done it way, way, way sooner.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids suffered for that. Obviously our marriage suffered for that. I suffered for that. My family suffered for it. So don't make the mistake that a moment of having to share with someone, I want to hurt someone, I am hurting someone, I'm afraid of myself. That moment is brief.
Mm-hmm.
The pain you will cause by not going through that brief discomfort of sharing it is far worse than the 5 minutes that you'll be uncomfortable.
The awkward feeling, the embarrassing feeling,
Yes.
the feeling like, oh, I've been exposed, I don't have all my stuff together. I would much rather live through that than the latter of something tragic.
And really just think on that. Think on what you are, the harm that you're causing is so much greater than any discomfort. Just push through that discomfort. Push through it. Think of it like giving birth. You're going to give birth to a new self, but y'all got to get through that birth canal first, and it ain't pleasant. Anyway.
All right, we guys hope you have enjoyed the show, and we hope it's helpful. That's our aim. Please email us at hello@anatomyofmarriage.com if you have any questions. If you say, hey, I'm going through this, let us help you. Again, this is not therapy, so don't expect that, but we will help you. I promise to everything holy, I will absolutely email you back and support you in a therapeutic way as a counselor. As professional as anything I've ever done, I will do that. So email us at hello@anatomyofmarriage.com to get help. We love you guys. Thank you so much, and we will catch you for our last episode.
Oh, I can't wait. It's the best
Not
episode.
the last episode of Anatomy of
Ever.
Marriage. The last episode is
of
episode
season 1.
12 of season 1, so we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Join us back for that. It'll be a lot of fun, and if you like the show, please remember to rate and review. That helps us up the charts.
The numbers?
Yeah, up the numbers. And
every day, sorry, I forgot to mention this. We're doing our marriage mornings again, you guys.
That's
if you
right.
haven't seen us, catch us every week. What? If you haven't seen us, catch us every weekday morning at around 7:30.
Around 7:30.
Sometimes it's later on Facebook and Instagram.
Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 every morning, marriage mornings. And we're going to do something cool on Instagram Live tomorrow to take actual live questions.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can zap you guys into our Instagram Live and talk to you in real time. And it will be on our show. It would be so cool. So catch us there. We love you. We'll see y'all later.
All right. Bye, guys.
Okay, now we can talk to you.
Okay, sorry. All right.
I love that.
What's up, my friends?
I love this. Aaron wrote, "It's wild to see how intentional thoughts and visions can change your life. Manifest the crap out of things."
They do.
I love you.
My puppy is fixated on you guys. Great video.
How cute.
Get the puppy to rate and review the show.
I know, right? I know. You hope I build a table soon. Me too. Don't tell Seth.
What?
Love you guys. Can't believe caught you live. Yay!
Thank you. Join us tomorrow. Hopefully you can. Let's see.
All right.
Brian, what's up? The Pinky Project, what's up? Whitney.
This is fun.
It is fun. Thank you guys for so much being here. IKR, what does that mean?
I know, right?
Oh, I know, right? Sorry.
So yes, it was lovely chatting, and we do have to run. Is there anything that we missed?
Great to see behind the scenes. What's up, Trisha? Hey, Tierney, if you're still here, okay, join in.
She's off tomorrow.
Join in
Let's
tomorrow.
see.
What time is that for you? That's like 9:30. You better be up.
Well, it might be later than that. I sleep in on
All right.
spring.
What's up, Dana? Don't know if you're here. Thank you so much. All right. We got to go. Catch us tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Around that time. It might
All
be
right.
later.
Yep.
If
All
you
right.
stay up late.
Bye, guys.
Love you.